welcome to our first video on the 3 pillars of camera fundamentals and video making. Exciting stuff. Okay, so this video we're going to talk about aperture. So what does aperture do? Well, it does 2 things. 1, exposure. 2, depth of field. They are the only 2 things that aperture does to your camera. In this video, we are going to talk about exposure and how aperture does that. So aperture works in f-stops. On your camera, you'll usually find somewhere it says f2.0 or f3.5 or f something, and that is your aperture. And that is controlled by the lens. Aperture! Put simply, an aperture is very much like the human eye. If you look at this video, you can see that the lens aperture is fully dilated at its maximum aperture. This is when it lets the most amount of light into the camera. But it's at the lowest f-stop. As the f-stop goes up, the aperture iris constricts and lets less light in. On the camera, you can control the f-stop, and so you can control the exposure of the video. So think about that when you buy a lens. Get one with a low f-stop and a high maximum aperture. So it's kind of opposites here. You've got to remember the opposite. So if it's a low f-stop, then it lets more light in. If it's a high f-stop, then it lets less light in. I don't know why. So you just change that on your camera and that will change the exposure for you. However, be warned, it does affect the creativity of the shot. So watch the next video.